Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Lawnboyspost 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug you. Lawnboyspost 1975.
Hey YouTube, Lawnboyspost1975, and welcome to the Wednesday vlog, the State of the Art Wednesday vlog. I'll get to that in a moment. You might remember a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago or something, I posted up a video called Ask Me a Question or Make Me a Suggestion, and I thought, I've been on it for 6 years, I'll have a Q&A, just a bit of fun, and maybe you could tell me what you would like to see more of on my channel. I'm not gonna lie, I always get a bit nervous doing stuff like this because I think, is anyone actually going to ask me anything? Does anyone actually give two shits what I have to say? So I was quite surprised. It's pretty much very, very light-hearted, apart from one question which I really don't know how to answer. We'll get to you on that, Miss Shen Muzo. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, mainly because of the input side of it as well. So I'll just read everything out. Dependent upon how long this takes, I may have to break it into parts because, as you know, people, I am state of the art and run on donkey piss and coal. Right, this is what I mean about being state of the art. I'm filming on my Samsung Galaxy new phone, and in order to read the questions, because my laptop is fucked, my new computer is set up on a massive TV behind it, like a 32-inch TV, which I don't really want to use because you see me doing this a lot. And this a lot, and I'm assuming this a lot is the lesser of two evils. Look, it's me looking at me. So I'm going to read it off from my S3 in the comments section. So hopefully this will be everyone's questions, because I don't know. Sometimes it does miss them out. Excuse me, and I do apologise if I absolutely butcher your name. Right, Adrian McCormick asks, I would love you made more cooking videos like you did on your older Gaming Munchies videos. So maybe like a video game, food or snacks. And also, do you have a PO box address? I don't have a PO box address. But mainly because I don't. This is what I mean about me being back to roots and basics and shit. I don't even know how you get a PO box address. Maybe I should look into that, because lots of people ask me that. And it's not that I'm ignoring them and stuff like that. I don't have a PO box address. Anyway, yeah, people, long-time viewers might remember, I used to have loads and loads of cooking videos up, stuff like that. I made a double venison burger with like 4 layers of bacon, venison, tomato, toasted it, and stuck a cocktail umbrella in it. Then I took a hot dog and put every single hot sauce, including chili cheese, out of my cupboard and put on it all at once. I think I remember, I watched it back, and if I remember correctly, because I laughed at it myself, I went bright red in the face, started sweating, and said, I think I can see through time. Excuse me, I would like to do those again. There's no real reason. Well, there's a reason, but I didn't stop making them because I didn't like them or people didn't like watching them. I stopped making them because when you've been on here as long as me and the various scares and calls that YouTube has for copyright and stuff like that, now knowing what I do now with the fact that I don't advertise and I can be careful within reason, there was background noise on it when I was eating them, such as stuff from the TV. This is going to be a pain in the ass because it keeps just turning itself off. Stuff from the TV. So those videos, like a lot of other ones, where I got worried about the sound. This is not really an answer to yours. This starts. I'm getting really into it. That sound, that I worried was like, I don't know, it could be claimed as copyright or something like that. I took them down. I took some videos down that had loads and loads of views and stuff like that, and I was very proud of, like my British Comics, the Beano video. But it just, since it's YouTube, and it's just, I don't know, maybe I played it a little bit too safe, but that's a good suggestion. I can totally get back onto that. Christ, I feel like I was going to say I need my reading glasses. I don't even wear glasses, but I need them. This was Crazy Catman Gaming. He says, yes, those cooking vids were fun. Would also like to send you some stuff. Maybe a PO box is a good idea. Yeah, I'll get on that. I'll have a look. I mean, everything's only a fucking Google away, so I'll get on that. Diet Coke, so I can do cooking videos. Right. I'd like to see more Amiga video games like Turrican, Lotus, Moonstone, and other more popular titles. That comes from Case of Glass, or I have to say, a lot of these people, all of you, have been watching me for ages, and I do really, really appreciate that support. It's really nice of you, really humbling, and the fact that you ask questions is epic sauce as well. Try not to choke on my tongue. Just as well I'm not live streaming it, eh? Well, see, the thing is, the Amiga games I can play at the moment are restricted to the emulation on my modded Xbox, so there's only a certain amount, and not all of them work. Lotus is on there, and I've tried to do it, but it's weird because you've got to swap discs in like current state and stuff like that. But I'll have a go at doing some more of the ones on there that are on there, because I do really like the Amiga. My brother had one, and he also had Atari ST, which is something I would love to emulate, or have. So, you know, I will try and get on that. I've been toying with looking into Amiga box, but I don't know, what I read was a bit, maybe people out there know more about it and they can tell me. What I read was a little bit scary in the sense that you can use it when, I could be wrong, quickly read this on my lunch break, use it with an SD card, but the thing is, what, a prototype, so it doesn't have a warranty, and if you want a disk drive, which is what I would want for it, the disk drive for it is 160 quid, at which point, I don't know, possibly I could buy an Amiga, which I would like, but they're fucking huge, and I just don't have the room, which is a question later on. Vinny Corleone 62, my very good friend Dean Thompson, he just left a comment talking about his Q&A and, you know, said that he has been watching me and stuff like that. People, really go and check this guy out, especially his latest rant videos. Absolutely superb. I do enjoy someone, you know, who will speak their mind and is completely honest and does address some of the issues with how, to some degree, we're kind of censored with opinions in social media. And you shouldn't be if you've not done anything wrong. Mr. Ben Boris. Jacko, did he do it or did he not? Or to put it another way, is he bad or is he not such a bad lad? Do you know what? The only thing I can think of is to answer this with what I honestly think. Cue a load of trolls coming in, because that's what they do. I don't think he did it. Do I think his behaviour was entirely appropriate? I think when someone doesn't have a childhood and, you know, is brought up like he was, I don't know, to some degree I can see why he wanted to relive his childhood in later years, but do I think he did it? I don't. You know, I'm sure I'll get a ton of heat on that, but I stand by that. I don't. I would love to hear your views on topics like politics, says Atari Fitness. This is an interesting one, because if you go back through my video for a couple of years, there are a few, this is just not going well on this phone, kind of political-esque videos. I talk about my views on the EU with the whole Greece thing a few years back and how, you know, it wasn't democratic. I've talked about my belief on climate change and stuff like that. But as I find out, when it comes to politics, you can't have an opinion because everyone refuses to accept it. And it's generally an art, even when you try and argue with them. You probably, if it's not with you, you don't accept it. Debate and discussion, as with politics on TV, it's a really interesting thing in the sense that, I don't know, it's like dropping your nuts in a lion's mouth and whipping him with a towel. So if you're interested in my sort of political views, I am far more political on Facebook. So add me in on Facebook and you'll know what I think, especially with stuff like Brexit, the House of Lords and things like that. But generally I try and keep it off YouTube, because while I do speak my mind on it, I have been honest, you know, with things about me, health and things like that. And, you know, I can be blunt. I am essentially a gaming channel, or you know, a retro themed channel. So I generally keep politics off that. But Mr. Atari Fitness, I don't know if you're on Facebook, but if you are, add me in. Yeah, I don't know what I'm worried about. Second name is Wade, Dave Wade on Facebook. I've got the Marmite banner with the DeLorean, the Mega Drive, the TARDIS. So yeah, add me in and you can see what my political thoughts are. But on YouTube, kind of a no-no. What time are we up to? 8 minutes. Now, Slippy Fox says, have you ever considered adding more polish to your vlogs? You know, they weigh a lot of that, well, I'm assuming that's a typo, that way a lot of viewers, you know, do, and have some pretty slick ones. Stop fucking trying to type a message. Discard, yes. This is not going well. Oh, pretty slick production value. Do you know, I have, but then I have not, because I wouldn't mind to. I'm pretty basic in the sense that I don't know how to do a lot of this stuff. I'm very restricted in my equipment. And I've always been just, I don't know, bare bones. I mean, I've just got a capture card. And since now I was donated a PC, I am trying to get that to work so I can use that. It's taken a little bit brain racking. Because as I said, you know, I haven't worked in IT for 15 years. So I'm not technically the best person. But, you know, I would like to. hopefully it's not important for people to see, but yeah, I think it's just a question of laziness, equipment and software, and know-how, which probably comes back to laziness. That's a really poor answer, I know, I do apologise. MJK0 says, do you still collect comics and will you be making videos about them? How tall are you and favourite movies of the last 10 years? This is good. I do still collect comics, but I'm very confined into what I collect. I think I collect about 10 titles a month. A couple of Image, a couple of DC. I'm trying to think of titles and I can't. Most of the Marvel stuff I collect is Punisher. I still absolutely adore Punisher, but I don't know. I think comics as really there's a message on my screen, by the way. That's really distracting. Someone's talking to me on that phone screen. I don't know. Comics to me, the late 80s, 90s, and very very early noughties. Well, I was a huge comic collector, and I pride myself on the fact. And these are videos that I used to have. I used to have my Tom McFarlane Amazing Spider-Man entire collection video up, but that had background noise as well, and I took that down. But you know, I think comic books has kind of lost its way. I don't know. I don't know if somehow the politics of the movies has influenced it because of who owns licenses and stuff like that. And you know, look up Wolverine's death and stuff like that. But yeah, how tall am I? 5'6". I'm short. I'm short. Favourite movies from the last 10 years? That's a really difficult question because I thought of this when you asked the question and it was kind of, I don't know, because when you think of favourite movies and you form, and I've got a top 10 of my favourite movies of all time on one of my Wednesday vlogs, but when I think of favourite movies it all falls back to the 80s and the 90s, and so when I watch new movies I don't generally catalogue it. I just walk away and either think that was bollocks or that was brilliant. But I had to quickly, and this is the thing about these Q&As, I'm just trying to rattle them off. I don't want any preparation as such, I just want to rattle them off to be kind of honest. Right, John Wick, not because of obvious reasons. Mad Max Fury Road is an absolute fantastic movie. Going back a little bit older. The new Judge Dredd movie, the quite low budget one, if you're a Dredd fan like me, absolutely amazing. Screw the Stallone movie, this was the one it should have been. Shame we won't get a sequel. Super dark, super violent, super dread. The Conjuring, I really like the first Conjuring, and for obvious reasons, I love Despicable Me. Other than that, knowing those are movies I can go back and watch again and again and again, can't really think of any. Right, next question. More out and about game hunting, mate. Love your videos. Keep up the good work. That's from Carl Ward. Thank you very much, Carl. I do enjoy going out and about game hunting, but the problem is, maybe I should get one of those pair of glasses. I saw them for 12 quid the other day. I don't know why I did that. You got to be very, very wary in Bristol. You got to be very wary of the current climate of panic. You know, walking around waving cameras or even phones when people know that you're filming in public. Possibly not so much in game stores, but even game stores I know, if you ask them politely, won't let you film. So it is something I like to do, but I got to be wary about not getting banned from stores because, you know, there aren't a shitload of retro-esque stores in Bristol, and if I get barred from them I'm fucked. But they're not going to go away. Maybe they won't be as frequent, you know, as I would like as well. But yeah, it's a question of balance and not, I don't know, not tempting fate, if it makes sense on that topic, mate. I am overdue for one though, aren't I? I'll get on that for you, mate. Geiger Punk says, my wife, Geiger Vamp, Jules, has a question for you, but can't comment, so she asked me on her behalf, when you moved abroad, did your love of games help you integrate with the other kids there, or did you have, careful to hit and read more, I don't want to leave a comment, have enough other interests that it didn't matter, were they curious about your British experience perspective of games? When I moved to Montreal in Canada, yeah, I had a little bit flush cash when I got there, so I bought a PlayStation 2 because I just sold my British PlayStation 2, and it gave me a DVD player, and it gave me games. And then one of the people in the office had a GameCube, and we were both Matrix fans. Matrix Reloaded was coming out, and obviously the Matrix game came out, and that helped me break the ice with someone. Became friends in the office because you got to remember I moved over there not knowing anyone, which is quite daunting, and games did help that. So we both pre-ordered. I pre-ordered for the PlayStation 2, he pre-ordered for the GameCube. And yeah, and that helped. As for perspective, Oh yeah, then we got, you know, like the Grand Theft Auto, because it was San Andreas, which was the massive one over there, wasn't it? Over there was when I was there. But other than perspective and British games and stuff like that, I don't know. I don't think it's better now, because obviously the retro community and stuff like that has been a great tool for educating people and showing people abroad. And I'm not saying everyone abroad didn't know about this, but you know, no one knew what the Spectrum was, and no one knew what a great number of the systems were we had in the UK computer systems. You know, when we were growing up. So yeah, so you know, it was an icebreaker. It certainly helped me make friends in my office. Excuse me 1 second. Aspartame, got to preserve my bones. And other than that, my local pub was owned by, it was called the London Pub, there's irony, I drank there, it was owned by a Spanish person who supported Real Madrid, so his satellite package had football on. So that was another interest, where myself, a few of the expats from the office would, you know, go and watch it there. He was obviously an expat, the bar owner, Oliver, and then other people would come in who were fans of football from, you know, that part of the neck of the woods. So that was kind of cool. Right. Q&A from Lasta Vivari. Do you have retro nostalgia for old PC games? Right, first of all, yes and no. Define old, because I had a PC in the late 90s, literally very late 90s, very early 2000s, and then I moved on to PlayStation 2. It's like a stopgap between my PlayStation and my PlayStation 2, and I loved it for the time. I do remember being annoyed with how quickly it got out of date. Maybe that tainted me on PCs. Maybe why I'm a console person. That's not saying there's anything bad about PCs. That's just my personal experience. Sorry, windy pops. The only downside to aspartame. But the games that do stick in my mind, obviously, are, you know, Doom 1, Doom 2, Heretic, Hexen. They're all first-person shooters, probably. I do have a massive amount of nostalgia for playing online Quake, love Quake, GL Quake, with a 56k V90 modem. How did we do this? And some software that would level it out so you could fight. And we used to fight on custom maps called Fragtown that I absolutely love. If this is old enough to count, because it's 96, loved Fragtown. Hours a night Fragtown with my skin as the Incredible Hulk or Cookie Monster. But the software there, like, kind of ironed out the kinks in the line and shit. When you fired at someone, they may not actually have been there when they looked like they were there for you. But it's how we got around it. And so yeah, you know, those early first-person shooters, Dark Forces, oh, I love that bad boy. Terminal Velocity. Yeah, I do have a nostalgia for those early PC days. A weird thing that's not gaming is, who remembers that Buddy Holly by Weezer was a video in Windows 95, even though it was incredibly, horribly pixelated? Ah, good times. What modern games do you play, if any? Even though you could argue that it's not, excuse me, aspartame, particularly modern anymore. It's on its way out. Obviously, my Wii U, to be perfectly honest, and I'm loving Breath of the Wild. You know, I never thought I'd say this. I always thought there's no such thing as a perfect game. It's a perfect game. I honestly don't have niggles like a few people like stamina and stuff like that. It doesn't bother me. It's there for a reason. I can see it. I enjoy it. Other than that, yeah, my Wii U, the Xbox 360 doesn't count anymore because that's essentially being pulled. And I don't own PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. Never say never. Don't intend on them. As for the Switch, again, never say never. Really not interested in it at the moment. But then I never am when a console comes out. I bought my 360 4 years after launch. I bought my Wii U a year after launch. And I got burned on that one. I love it though. What do you think about Overwatch? Ignorant? I don't know what it is, sorry. Sometime, something like walkie vlogs like Steve Benway did for some time could be interesting. That is kind of a cool one. I live kind of in the sticks-ish. So I could go up on the common and do it, but then you're blasted by wind. But the only thing is, I get really self-conscious talking into a phone. I felt really self-conscious even though I wasn't talking into my phone when I was walking around that arcade filming myself. I shouldn't, because you're never going to see these people again. But maybe that's just me. But that's an idea. Definitely, yeah, you can expect one of those. This is from 2D UK. As I know, you have never attended any type of retro event market. Any plans to do so in the future? I'm sure there are a load of tubers that would love to meet you in person, myself being one. Oh, it's so nice of you to say so, mate. Do you know what? I'm going to be honest for a moment. It's not particularly bad at the moment. I've touched upon it in videos. And again, this isn't supposed to be that type of video, so I'll keep this short and sweet. I'm not I suffer from social anxiety. I'm not using that as a big excuse. I mean, I can get around it at work because I have to earn a living in certain aspects, you know, shopping because you got to eat and stuff like things you have to do like MOTs, general day-to-day life I can do. But I don't know. That's why I went to the arcade in off season, because I knew there weren't loads of people. But there's loads and loads and loads and loads of people in some place. Even though I know that they probably don't even know I'm there. I don't know. It makes my social anxiety rise. I know that's horrible. It makes me sound like I do want to go to an event. I don't know. I have to be in the right frame of mind because I do. Because I feel really bad that I've never attended any of these places. And it is, you know, it's something that's poor on my part because by not dealing with it, or, well, I am trying to deal with it, fixing it. Ultimately, I'm depriving myself more than anyone else or anything of what would be an amazing experience. So, Tootie, you know what? I don't know. I think it would be like baby steps. Maybe there was one in Bristol, knowing that I'm so close to home, if that makes sense. Like you got a comfort blanket or barrier or cord or something. But no, I do. I'd have to like kind of set it up in my safety zone defense thingy. I hope that makes sense. That's a bit of a poor answer. This is from Electric Adventures. Tony, the arcade games you always put... the arcade game you always put, according to every time you visit an arcade, I'm assuming you've meant if it was there, I think you know this one, but it's got, well, there's two. Star Wars arcade, favourite arcade cabinet of all time. Wish I could have a Star Wars arcade cabinet. Got nowhere to put it. Hell, I'd sell my car, build an extension, and stick it in there. Every time, even now, on the very rare occasions you see one, I'll pump a couple of quid into that bad boy. And the other one, mainly because it always makes me associate with fish and chips, because whenever I played it, it was in an arcade, I say this all the time, next to a door where the smell of fish and chips wafted in. And that's, I don't know, I see Double Dragon, again, on the rare occasions that you do, and I think, it's Double Dragon, I'm hungry fish and chips. And I'll always pop money in that. And also, I really, really, really love Double Dragon. The favourite thing you like to have with your Marmite. Anyone who doesn't know this knows I absolutely adore Marmite. It's the greatest food invention in the world ever. It's a waste product that they can sell for a lot of money because people love it or hate it. Genius. Cheese, mate. Golden rule with Marmite is anything that's got cheese on it. Like you can even, because I even put it in bolognese. I have my mouth watering now. I put it on top of the grated cheese, and I put regular cheddar on bolognese. I don't like parmesan. I can't eat cheese that smells like baby sick. Yeah, I squirt it. Marmite's the best one though. Squirt it across the cheese. I put it in chili. I put it in curry. You can put it in anything. It's basically stock. Well, you know this, Mr. Cruz, with your inferior product, Vegemite. Don't know where the quotation fingers there. Right, but yeah, cheese. If you get a margarita pizza, as soon as it comes out of the oven, so the cheese, got to be the cheese is bubbling, get your squeezy Marmite. Go like that, like zigzag. It's like a Bakewell tart across. Mouth watering again. Absolutely fantastic. What time are we on? Sorry to keep looking at the time. It's just my brain's going, oh God, I know how long this is going to take to process. But we start, so we finish. Right, the system you find yourself playing the most. It used to be my Wii. Not just because I love the Wii, everyone knows I'm a huge advocate of the Wii. I think it was a brilliant system. I think first person controls in that system are second only to PC. Controversial. But also the other side of it was modded, and also I could play GameCube games on it. And so I did a video about it, which is the one system I couldn't live without. But ever since I got my modded Xbox, which has obviously got every arcade game on it ever, it's got PlayStation 1 games, Xbox games, you know, Commodore games, Amiga games, one, which is a bit annoying, one Atari ST game, which I can't get to work. It's people can probably tell from my videos how much of an influence, trying to kill the screen again, get off the screen, how much of an influence that has had on my videos. How did I live this long without having a modded original Xbox? It's absolutely fantastic. I endorse it to all you people out there. So that's the one system I play myself the most, and if anything, could not live without now. And it was donated to me. Thanks, Zara and Avril. 2 questions for you, Dave. Sabod. Have you watched any of the classic cartoon reboot series, in particular Thundercats, He-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and what are your thoughts? If yes, I have. Didn't like Thundercats. I know it's weird because I'm grounded in nostalgia and, you know, retro, so maybe I didn't give it a fair chance. Certainly didn't like He-Man. Turtles I gave a chance, especially the 3-way crossover, was it? I got it on DVD, I forget, where you have 90s Turtles, you know, whoa dude and all that. You had the Nickelodeon Turtles before CG, and then you had like the dark Eastman and Laird kind of style Turtles. But no, I like that Turtles. I don't mind Nickelodeon Turtles, but that one would be better because I prefer sort of Turtles. To me should be in a cartoon, but I didn't hate Turtles, and I have yet to see it. I've only seen little bits online, but I am quite looking forward to DuckTales. I think it doesn't try and surpass or reboot the original. Again, you know, people should probably want to change things, but for me, with being someone with massive, you know, nostalgia and retro fondness, I think if it doesn't try and do something new, if it stays in line with the original, I'm not against it. Thundercats changed that too much for me. Maybe that's just my opinion. Everyone else liked it. Secondly, you're being held at gunpoint. In front of you, there is a Mega Drive and a Wii. You must pick one and never play the other one again. Which do you choose? Thanks for the great years of content, Dave. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much for watching. Beefy Cast, best name ever. I pick up the Mega Drive. I know I said I couldn't live without my Wii, but the Mega Drive is kind of the reason I have this channel. Repiecing my Japanese Mega Drive collection together from when I was a kid. Those games are up in previous videos if new people want to see them. My midlife crisis. So that's why I couldn't leave the Mega Drive there. I couldn't, because Mega Drive is why I'm here right now. Japanese Mega Drive. Was it a Japanese Mega Drive? If it's an English Mega Drive, it can stay and I'll take the Wii. But if it's a Japanese Mega Drive, I'm having that one and saying yoink and legging it. Time. Ooh, this is going to be painful to edit. You're given the opportunity to relive any 1 week from your life up to now from a purely nostalgic perspective. Where would you choose to go back to? See Mega Drive, but no, it wouldn't. It'd be the first time we went abroad. Again, so many of these things I talk about, I've talked about before. Honestly, there's at least 10% new material in this Q&A. First time we went to America, we went to stay at my dad's brother's place in Boston because he emigrated in the 60s. And it was, I was so looking forward to that. I had all my money. I knew of Genesis and Genesis games I wanted to play because obviously they would work on my Mega Drive, because it's early on at this point in my 1991 my Jap Mega Drive. So this was just a week of amazing nostalgia, the first week, because I still, the day before we went on holiday, why am I looking at my Doctor Who figure? Love you, Tennant. Best Doctor still. Went downtown, 2 buses downtown, the day before going on holiday to buy Sonic on launch, come back, play it for 1 day, and then go to America. I'd have to wait 3 weeks before I could play it again, but then in that week buying Fantasia. That was a mistake. Atomic Robo Kid and Hellfire, hanging out in an amazing comic shop. Had an X-Men 4-player arcade machine and loads of when they just done that whole new reboot of the X-Men with Jim Lee. Those days were fucking sweet. That is probably the best, most nostalgic week ever in my life that I would love to go back to. Every time I look down because I've got an LED light, it takes a while for me to get that weird blue sun thing to disappear. Where we're up to now. Diver 79, my good friend Sean, I'm upgrading with an old 480 Sony Handycam that my cousin has sent in to me, but I have to go pick it up, at least having 60 gig hard drive, and I'm already using a Sony Vegas helps there, but I'm trying to figure out how to bloody Chase HQ, this is just a comment I think, to work via emulator on my kit. That's the first one I'm firing off in, gameplay stuff. I think I'd call it a slice of pie. Miss you, buddy. I do too, dude. It's just me being lazy. But yeah, that was just a comment. He's my good mate. Go and check him out. I'll put links to everyone I can fit in here. But yeah, anyone knows how you get Chase HQ to work on a Raspberry Pi? Well, it works, but getting to control it with all the controls you need to play it, because Chase HQ on the ZX Spectrum is absolutely bollocks. The bollocks, sorry. Oh my god, sorry Chase HQ, don't be mad at me. I hear you're a hockey fan. I'm from Leeds and have been living in Sheffield for the last 4 years. We have a main pro team, Sheffield Steelers, and semi-pro team, Sheffield Steel Dogs. I mainly go and follow the Steelers, but occasionally go to see the Steel Dogs. So do you go to local ice hockey games? I know most local teams to Bristol are either Cardiff or Swindon, just wondering. Do you know what? I don't. I'm lazy because I just keep up with the NHL, and I keep up with it on, that's from Retro Rambles, sorry. I keep up with it on my Cody box, because I'm a Habs fan. But, I know, see this is really bad. There used to be, in the Bristol Ice Rink, there used to be a Bristol hockey team that I know of, was quite good, but that was a few years ago. As for Cardiff, that's an hour away, and Swindon, that's an hour away. I'd love to, but it would have to be like a special treat or one-off day trip, but I gotta check it. I think, glad you reminded me of this. I gotta check and see if we still have a local team in Bristol, because if there is, I will go. If they build it, I will go. Right, now, Edict says, what do you think of the pedestrianisation of Norwich City Centre? Happened to Bristol. My thoughts of this as a car driver, quite simply, are it's a load of shit. Dear local councils, stop shitting on the car driver. Love, Dave. How do you like your eggs in the morning? From Chris Sankt. Sunny side up with a crack of pepper on them, a dab of Tabasco sauce and a little bit of grated cheese. Seriously, true story. Are you buying, this is from Vector San, are you buying the Nintendo Switch? I'm sorry that I'm doing this. I really feel like I need glasses and go like this. Or a smoking pipe. Are you buying Nintendo Switch at launch and why not? I'm not. I'm completely underwhelmed by it at the moment. But then having said that, every console's initial launch is, well, I mean, it's like a fucking desert when it comes to games. So I know that I can't complain in the sense that it's always been that way. But how have they never managed to fix this? Also, I feel a little bit let down by, you know, how as a, you know, previous 2 Nintendo consoles owner, well, previous 4, I've been shafted. I've done a video on that, shafted by the 5-year lifespan, and also, yeah, I know the Wii U wasn't successful, but it is. I feel a little bit let down by Nintendo on that. That said, oh, and the horror story's coming out about the Switch. Again, that might just be the select few you've seen on Tinterwebs, but that said, never say never, and when it comes to new hardware like that, I probably always wait for a few years, again like with the Xbox, to get a library of games when it comes out, and to know that anything that was niggly had been fixed or patched, or the online service was up, I guess. So never say never, but I never plan to get it on launch. Not saying it's a bad console, I'm just saying that's me. Right. That was a very loud gulp. I've been what this is from Crewman Cream. Green? Sorry dude, again I haven't got glasses. I've been watching your channel for over a year, discovered you and I saw a Japanese, thank you, so, Japanese Mega Drive on eBay, dirt cheap, and wondered if it was, I wonder why it was worth getting so hyped. Japanese intro, sorry I can't read. I typed Japanese Mega Drive in, sorry dude, into YouTube. No, you were, I absolutely love your channel, thank you. I've been inspired to buy a 3DO, ooh, that can't be cheap. Mine cost me £8, I didn't know that's a good price, I was pretty happy. And a PC Engine, good man. From your opening credits, you've inspired me to volunteer for a night shift. Oh, you brave man. I'm never doing that again. How the Blue Blazers do you do it? You start it, you hate it, and then all of a sudden a year so when it's physically broke your body to such an extent, you just accept it and sleep and can't be asked to find another job. Poor excuse. Kids, don't start night shifts. And those of us who do it, pity us and think about us. Especially knowing the noise and the sun and shit in the daytime when we have to sleep. Na 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 na. No, just £1 a week will buy people like Dave a white noise machine. I don't want one, that's not e-begging before it. I was wondering, where do you keep all your consoles and games? You sure you answered that? I haven't. Also, do you wear crazy hats when you're out and about or just a video? Oh, I wear crazy hats all the time. Apart from now. I was toying with this. Yeah, I don't know why, I just like hats. Weird. Maybe there's a condition, you know, like people who are scared of spiders or something. Maybe there's a phrase. People find out. For people who love hats, on half an hour. Keep my consoles. Most are in that game room. This is my bedroom. That cupboard is full there. There's a spare room down there that's got them boxed and put away the ones that I only break out for special occasions. In my actual game room, the ones on the floor, there's about 5 or 6 set up at any one time. Masking tape on fire hazard. Masking tape on the plug so I know which one to plug in, as well as a switcher box, SCART. Luckily, I've got 2 HD connectors on my TV. Put it this way, right? You drive by my house, you know, if I'm off work and it's night, you'll see a permanent blue hue coming through the curtains in that room. I wouldn't recommend that, people. Probably a fire hazard. Here's a question. Is there one full-size arcade cabinet machine you could own? Which one and why? Star Wars Arcade, Star Wars Arcade. Stick a fork in me. I'm